America than the Oregon coast. It's hard to imagine growing up here could be as complicated as, say, a big city or a sprawling suburb. Yet even in this splendid isolation, members of the class of 2000 share the same anxieties about love and romance and sex. CBS News correspondent Allison Stewart begins our report.
Do you regret losing your virginity?
Very much. I really wish I was a virgin still.
Just a year ago, Sarah Levesque made a choice that changed her.
How old were you the first time you had sex?
I was 15. The first real boyfriend I had, I lost my virginity to. I used to be really overweight in junior high, and guys never liked me. And I really wanted a boyfriend, but kind of, stood back and watched everybody else have boyfriends. And then the summer before my freshman year, I met that guy.
Why didn't you wait to have sex with your boyfriend?
I felt like everybody else, was, and he did pressure me a lot. And I wasn't secure enough with myself to really say no and mean it. I was really confused afterwards, and I felt really used, and I had just wasted something that was really special.
Virginity is something you kind of don't know you have until you've lost it. And virginity is not just a physical thing, it's an emotional thing.
Chelsea, do we have any dressing?
So when a girl says, I'd like to be a virgin again, what she means is, I'd like not to be disillusioned about how someone's going to treat me. I want to be worth more.
After losing your virginity, the innocence is gone. You don't feel like a child anymore, and I really miss that. Am I attracted to assholes or something?
I think you're really nice, and you give them the benefit of the doubt.
I love my mom dearly. I mean, I'm really close to her. Don't even want to have another relationship.
Ever?
I talk to her about everything. I mean, it doesn't even seem like it's worth it.
Did you tell your mom when you lost your virginity?
Yeah. She wanted me to tell her before, if I was ever thinking about having sex, but I told her after.
Reaction?
I thought she was going to die of a heart attack. She was like, and he was like, I'm sorry. And she was like, why didn't you tell me? And, you can't really go and say, Mom, I'm going to have sex, It's like, it doesn't happen that way. Come on. When my mom talked to me about sex, it didn't make me want to or anything. It just, I got more knowledge. When schools teach you about sex, I mean, it's just like a big blah. It doesn't teach you anything. They don't really know how to. They're by the book. And a lot of stuff doesn't happen by the book.
So what's a mom to do? What are parents to do?
You can't really stop a kid from doing it. You gotta help them and teach them, the right way, if you're gonna do it, but tell them it's not worth it. I don't think they're gonna listen to you, because I didn't. After you do it, you totally think a different way.
Sarah is determined that her sexual history will not repeat itself.
I had to, or... The way I'm thinking now is I'm not gonna have sex again until I feel like I can handle it. I'm not afraid to stand up for myself anymore with guys. I'll tell them exactly what I'm thinking. I want to wait. I want to be with somebody I really care about this time, because I've heard it's like a totally different experience.
Do you like guys? I mean, are you afraid to be sexy or wear sexy clothes?
I love guys. I'm a really flirty person. I mean, just when I'm in a room with guys, I just light up.
What are you doing tonight?
My boyfriend, he's a senior. We fool around, but we don't have sex. I still worry that, what if I do? Because, you did it once. You think you might slip again and do it again. I trust myself more now that I've gone through everything. And that's the best thing to have, is self-trust.
I don't think that it's wrong to have sex when you're 14 or so. Your body's ready, so why isn't it right? I was really ready to have sex. I was rearing to go.
John Fareham was the man after his first sexual experience.
After you have sex for the first time, you kind of feel like you're holding your head up a little taller, kind of strutting your stuff when you're walking down the street. Instead of just saying like, hi, you're like, hey, how's it going? Snapping your fingers.
We sometimes think that double standard has gotten modified and that now girls and boys are on the same footing. Well, they're not on the same footing. The fact is, there's still some prestige for boys to be sexual.
How old were you when you first had sex?
I was 14.
Yeah? As it was happening to you, you're losing your virginity. Are you flipping out or what?
Just going with the flow.
Is it making love or is it having sex?
Could be both. Could be either.
How about for you?
A couple girls, it was a little more intimate, but most of the time it was just having sex, attraction at the time.
So how's it going?
Where did John learn about sex? Where so many kids learn about it from the media.
I got ideas from TV and magazines as in, it's a good thing, it's fun, everybody's doing it. 7th grade, they had sex ed, and I don't think it really helped. It was like, this is what a penis is, this is what a vagina is, and I don't know, it was pretty dull. I didn't really learn about sex from my parents. At the age of about 15, they asked me if I knew how, and I said yeah.
They never talked to you about protection or anything like that?
My stepdad gave me a bag of condoms and told me if I was gonna have sex, be safe.
So when you had sex, did you use condoms?
Yeah. STDs, AIDS, don't want to deal with that. When I first had sex, I didn't think of consequences. I just thought, it's here, it's now, let's go.
What would you do if you ever got a girl pregnant?
Oh boy. I'd have to, I'd at least play child support and stick around. I wouldn't like run out.
In real life, guys don't stay. They say that and they're gone.
No, that would make me feel bad. That would go beyond my moral points. That would, and make me feel really bad.
Despite a few sexual encounters in junior high, as a high school freshman, John felt lonely and alienated from girls.
Most of the freshman girls look for older guys, so kind of hard when I'm a freshman. I haven't had a girlfriend all year. Nobody to share secrets with, just talk. It's very frustrating not having a girlfriend. I would really like to be close to somebody.
Down to your jog trot! I love showing my horse, I love competing, and I guess that's what makes me so strong, because rather than going and having sex, I can go and do other things and just be just darn well good at it.
15-year-old Alexis McKeon has something in common with most girls her age. She's still a virgin.
Is your decision to remain a virgin based at all on religion?
No, I'm not a religion person at all. I have so many opportunities that I want to fulfill, and I have so many things that I want to do when I get older. I wouldn't want to put myself in a situation where I'd get pregnant, get some kind of disease, and then not be able to do them.
Mr. Woodward, you want to see these jokes?
When I see a real successful, self-motivated, confident senior, that girl has made a conscious decision as a freshman to get involved in some kind of activity where she can express herself and be seen different from her sexuality.
How did you learn about sex?
Well, I watch so much TV, and we have 882 channels, and that includes MTV, Playboy, everything. And I guess me and my friends talk about it a lot, because, there's some big decisions that are out there, and, I'm very open with my friends, and they're very open with me.
And Alexis is very open with her mom about sex.
Okay. She just says that when I'm ready, then fine. It's a thing that, when you need a pair of shoes, then you go and buy them, and when you want to have sex, then you have sex.
I'm not stupid and she's not stupid. I would be a foolish parent if I thought this child is going to wait until she's married. And I've told her many times, you're not ready. You need to think about this before you do it. But when you do it, at least be smart about it.
Are you going to wait till you get married to have sex?
I guess it'd be okay for me to have sex if I was in love, but if I went to a party and got drunk and then just had sex, no, I just don't think that's right.
Alexis had her share of boyfriends, and when we met her, she'd been dating Willie Wallace for 5 months.
He owns Oil Can Henry's, him and his dad,
Let's start it up.
and I think he's going to be stuck here for a while, running his business. He thinks that I'm just like this perfect person and I have so many good qualities. And I'm afraid of that because I don't want him to get too attached to me. I want to go and meet other people and go out and see the world.
Does Willie want to have sex?
He's had sex in the past. I know he wants to, but he also knows that I want to wait, and so he understands.
Your 17-year-old boyfriend is okay that you've decided not to have sex with him?
Yes, he is totally okay with it.
Don't you ever feel those sort of incredible feelings for your boyfriend?
Yes, but whenever I do that, I just think of something else and just have fun and go ride a horse or watch TV, do anything. Relationship doesn't need to have sex unless you're in love. If you're in love, then it's a totally different story. I haven't been in love yet, so I really wouldn't know. Good girl. Until then, I want to wait.
Coming up next, meet the all-American girl. She dances, plays softball, sings in the church choir. So what made her parents so angry?
They went overboard. Totally.
When we come back.
With about 4,000 residents and just over 20,000 people in the whole county. The locals live a small-town lifestyle, surrounded by big, beautiful views of ocean, forest, and farmland. Tillamook is dairy country and timber country, but we didn't come here for the cheese or the wood. We came because of kids like Brandy Malarkey.
When you heard the words, "you're pregnant," were you like, damn, I'm pregnant? Or
No, I'm happy.
Happy, why?
Because I thought I was going to have a baby.
Pregnant at 16, Brandy's situation is one that bedevils America. And few towns know the effect of teenage mothers as well as Tillamook.
We're going to talk about values today and what values were.
About 7 years ago, the citizens of Tillamook County had to face an unpleasant fact. Their teenage daughters were getting pregnant at an alarming rate. A census study reported that little Tillamook had the second highest teen pregnancy rate in the entire state of Oregon. At that point, community leaders made it their priority to deal with the issue realistically.
We're all together with our community around teen pregnancy.
Led by a dynamic local commissioner, Sue Cameron, Tillamook leaders put aside political differences and offered both abstinence and availability of birth control to their kids. The combination worked. The teenage pregnancy rate dropped sharply, but so did interest in the issue, which taught the town a lesson.
As we look at our teen pregnancy rate, which was almost 75% reduction from 1990 to 1994, we realized that as we saw that trend go down, it's beginning to go up now, and we've lost that focus. So it's another opportunity to re-engage the community that, oh my goodness, our teen pregnancy rate's going back up. What are we going to do?
Oh, shoot. But what can any town do for the Brandy Malarkeys of the world? Girls who accept teen pregnancy as a way of life because it's all they know.
Does it go any faster?
Two of Brandy's aunts and Brandy's own mother were teenage moms.
What do we want to do?
The life Brandy's lived has been anything but stable.
World's greatest mom.
When did you first have sex?
I was about 14. Gary, you gotta wake up. Come on. I don't know why he's sleeping so much.
Brandy was a member of the class of 2000, but she stopped going to school.
And under home management and nutrition, increase awareness of hazards.
Now she's enrolled in a job training program. She works part-time pumping gas.
Who taught you about sex, Brandy?
Who taught me about sex? Well, actually, it was basically hanging out with my friends and partying with them. I'm not blaming it on them or anything, but it's just go out and get drunk and end up doing something you'll regret tomorrow.
In fact, the kids of Tillamook told us that alcohol plays a big part in teenage sex. National surveys tell us kids are having sex at a younger age than ever before. 55% of boys and 50% of girls ages 15 to 19 have had intercourse. Carol Sargent was even younger than that when she had sex for the first time.
How old were you?
13 and a half.
Wow.
Oh, it's all over.
Carol has everything going for her. She's an honor student, a dancer, a great softball player. Religion plays an important part in her life. She's a member of the church choir. Yet, there was something missing.
I need to be loved. I need to have somebody there for me, like, at all times. But I don't know, I was just lonely at the time. And I didn't know what else to do.
Is someone who's 13 years old enough to have sex?
No. I was totally not mature enough to handle it. No. 13 is not old enough. I was in 7th grade, and he was in 8th grade, and within like 2 weeks, the whole school knew, and my parents knew, and all the teachers knew, and the high school knew. Dumbest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yet, it happened again and again.
You're 15, you lost your virginity at 13. How many lovers have you had in those 2 years?
Like all together? 3.
Like many teenage girls, Carol absorbed the message that having sex suddenly makes you more sophisticated, more in the eyes of your peers.
Why didn't the word no come out of your mouth?
It did. I said no a couple times, and I said, oh, okay. I just gave up and said, okay, whatever.
Oh, can I have a Skittle iron?
Girls are still taught to be compliant. To be good girls is to do what people ask of you. So in a sense, they're following traditional socialization by being sexual when some boy says, I really need this. I really want this. I'd love you if you'd give me this. I love you and you must, show your love for me too.
Losing her virginity changed her relationship with her parents.
It hurt them probably more than it hurt me.
Because Carol first had sex in the family home, her parents now force her to share a bedroom with her little sister until Carol heads to college.
I let him in the window of the basement, and that's why I have to share a room to this day. We have a house with 5 rooms in it, and we only use 3 because I can't be in the basement.
No, wait, shh, quiet, watch.
They are a close family. They kid around.
Whoops.
Carol and her dad are fishing buddies.
That was a good cast, Carol.
Thank you.
But things will never quite be the same.
I don't trust them as much anymore. I don't talk to either of them nearly as much as I used to. They invaded my life.
What did they say?
They yelled a lot. I mean, well, my mom yelled and my dad just kind of stayed quiet. When my dad's quiet, he's pissed.
Carol's one of the most popular girls at Tillamook High.
Here we go.
Yet when she first had sex, the gossip spread in small-town Tillamook, and the target was Carol.
If you're a girl, then you're just a slut, and you get no respect. You're just like a toy. And if you're a guy, you're the man.
There still is the idea of a boy who's kind of a stud boy. He's got 3 girls, and he's really kind of cutting a swath through high school. Well, we don't talk about our daughter. Hey, great, she's just mowing him down. No, we don't think of girls that way. And one of the ways you punish girl sexuality is you call them a tramp or you call them a slut.
I do not regard myself as a slut, because I have more respect for myself than that. I just like to feel loved by guys a lot.
Hail, hail, Lion of Judah! Hail, hail, Lion of Judah!
You're a religious person. You're in the choir. How do you reconcile being sexually active at a young age and being religious?
It's kind of tough, but I don't let the two things mingle together. There's my church life, and then there's my social life.
Did you ever think of becoming, a lot of people call it a born-again virgin. Did you ever think of becoming a born-again virgin and just being celibate until the right guy comes along?
I thought about it, but then I thought the right guy came along, but I was wrong. I've never had like a special sexual experience. None of it really means anything. It's just like another thing to do when there's nothing else to do.
On a quarter. Coming up next, Jessica loves Justin.
He's extremely hot. Extremely.
Were you guys having a physical relationship?
When we return.
Before Justin was not that good.
For Jessica Mulford, there was life before Justin, but it was just a so-called life.
I just felt like really stupid. I felt ugly. I felt fat. I didn't feel that anybody really wanted to talk to me.
There's no more whipped cream left.
But when Justin came along and wanted to be Jessica's boyfriend, he rocked her world.
Justin he's very sweet. He's very nice. He's really caring and loving. I feel very physically attracted to him. I mean, he's extremely hot. Extremely, I don't care what anybody else says. He's really good looking.
She said, "Mom, I really like this guy." And I said, "Okay." And I said, "Do we need to talk about some other things?" And she goes, "Like what?" And I said, "Well, honey, I want you to make the right choices for yourself." And she goes, "Mom, I don't want to talk about sex."
I never liked my mom talking to me about sex. It more or less scared me. Yep, it scared me bad.
Were you guys having a physical relationship? I mean, beyond holding hands and kissing?
I'm not going to answer that.
You know what that says to me? Yes, but I can't talk about it. Half of me wants to say, that's her own business, and the other half, as a mother, go,
What if I go with Dave? No, okay,
Not an
fine.
option.
I won't. Fine.
Jessica, 15 years old, and her mother, Gina Furman, having one of those typical mother-daughter conversations.
I know.
That road kills people, honey.
Okay, Mom.
Teenagers get killed on that road every summer. Lots of them.
I know. I really don't like rules and stuff.
So we'll find a way for you to go up there for part of the weekend, but not overnight.
Okay. I've never been one for really rules. Can we go now?
Yep. I don't particularly like the nose ring. I'm not, I don't like tattoos and nose ring. They about send me over the edge.
I like your hair better like that. That's cool. That's cool.
It was blue yesterday.
But that's what she likes, and I'm trying to understand that. I've told her how I feel about it. I told her no. She went out and did it anyway.
Item number 9 is a consideration of an order for no...
Gina is a pillar of the Tillamook community.
Item number 5, Hebo Service District in dissolution. Paul?
She's a political force, one of the 3 county commissioners.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So naturally, her daughter just hates Tillamook.
Tillamook, it just sucks.
Last year, Jessica's first at Tillamook High School was ugly.
I'd walk down in the hall and they just wouldn't like me plainly. And so they'd yell certain things like, "Hey, you're big enough to be a football player," and stuff like that,
She had blue hair. She wore different kinds of clothes. She was into different music.
It made me feel really bad, and so the last week I ended up going to that school every day. I'd go into the counselor's office crying.
She was getting a real clear message that you're not cool. You're not looking like what you're supposed to look like. And it was very hard for her, and it got to the point where she needed a different environment.
Little more than a month into her freshman year, Jessica transferred to an alternative high school.
This is boring. I don't want to do any work.
You got work to do, you're supposed to be doing work.
There's a lot of anger there. And how do you channel that anger? I see adolescent girls channel it. They hurt themselves, suicide attempts, eating disorders. That's how the anger comes out. Because they're not able to be who they are.
And a lot of who they are Their self-esteem is often wrapped up in a boyfriend, like Justin.
Where'd you get those? Those are cool.
For Jessica, she felt loved for the first time, which helped her love herself.
I do think Justin loves me a lot. He tells me that, and it's not just something that, he's sincere about it. He's telling me the truth when he says it. He's not, lying to me. He's not telling me a fib. I think he's telling me the truth.
One day, Jessica decides to visit Justin, even if it means heading back to Tillamook High. She still feels the sting of rejection, but the feel of Justin's affection is worth it to her.
I decided I was going to come and visit you. Want a quarter? Here, wait, I got a good idea. Yeah, you can go get a soda now. I love Justin a lot. Every time I see him, my heart sinks, I get butterflies in my stomach. I just totally freak out, and if he's gone for too long and I haven't talked to him for like 2 or 3 days, then my world comes crashing down.
Jessica doesn't know it yet, but her world is about to come crashing down. Less than a week after this meeting, she and Justin break up.
I think he was getting annoyed with me. And I think he likes another girl.
What emotions are you feeling after breaking up with Justin?
Not really anything. I'm emotionless at this point.
When my parents got divorced, I kind of saw everything in a different light. Considering like relationships and stuff, I always thought that you can't really trust anyone. And I thought if you do, they're always going to cheat on you. I always thought that there's nobody that's good out there. It doesn't matter who it is, that all guys are bad.
You seem so detached about it. You were so in love before.
Yep.
Is that how you're just going to deal with it?
Yep, just detach myself from it. That's the only way I know how to deal with it. I've been hurt too many times, I've seen it too many times, therefore it doesn't really make me feel anything. It's kind of like, oh, one of these again. Okay, well, I've dealt with this before, so I'll just deal with it again.
At this point, the last place Jessica wants to be is a wedding, much less her mother's wedding. At first, she refused to attend, but not only is she there, she also removed her nose ring for the occasion.
Jessica honored what I wanted at the wedding, and she decided to take it out for the wedding, and I'm sure that her hair will be purple and the nose ring will be back in soon.
By the power vested in me by the state of Oregon, you are now husband and wife. Stephen, you may kiss your bride.
But Gina's concerns about her daughter run deeper than purple hair or nose rings or boyfriends. Jessica, she says, needs protection from more dangerous substances.
That's going to be my biggest project for the next few years, is to make sure that my daughter stays safe and away from drugs. That's a lot. That's going to be hard to do.
Coming up soon, a story of puppy love in all its glory.
Megan's one of the greatest things in my life.
Stay with us. The place is San Francisco, the Haight-Ashbury district. The time, decades ago, when a cultural revolution was raging, when drugs were overflowing and sex was easy. A young girl was growing up right in the middle of this, coming of age. Naomi Wolf.
When I was 15, I and my boyfriend decided to have intercourse. We went to our clinic, we got the diaphragm, we, did the deed, and it was not a traumatic experience at all, but it was a profoundly spiritually empty experience.
Naomi Wolf went back to San Francisco to recapture those days and write about it. In a book called Promiscuities, The Secret Struggle for Womanhood, she tells the story of what it was like to be young and female in the 1970s. It's a story that runs parallel to the stories of the kids we met in Tillamook, Oregon. In fact, Naomi Wolf, through her own personal story and her research into the lives of adolescents today, puts into perspective the sexual struggles of kids everywhere.
Are teenagers, especially young teenagers, are they ready for sex?
Well, biologically they're ready for sex, of course they are. Psychologically, you're not ready for intercourse until you're mature enough to deal with the fact that it can involve life and death decisions. One thing I was struck by, looking back, telling my own sexual coming-of-age story and that of the young women I grew up with, is that we all had early intercourse. We had intercourse at 14, 15. By 16, you were over the hill if you hadn't had intercourse. Today, even more so, 14-year-old girls tell me they're expected to offer intercourse or a boy won't be interested in being their boyfriend. Boys tell me they're expected to have intercourse as young as they can or they're not considered real men. This is leading to shocking numbers. Unbelievably, half of teenage girls are having intercourse, but 1 in 4 is going to face an unwanted pregnancy before she's even 18.
Why is this happening? Because, says Wolf, we are sending our kids conflicting messages about sex.
Younger and younger girls in particular are being bombarded with a culture that says have sex, do it young, do it perfectly, compete with Penthouse. At the same time, their own strong, often confusing sexual feelings are still shrouded in silence. When I was 9, pornography, I knew where it was. There were grown-up images down in the red light district in grown-up land, and I didn't have to deal with them. I knew they were there, I was curious, but it wasn't in my face. Those scenes are out of date now as kids see things at 9 and 10 and 11 on movies or on the internet that would have knocked us out 15 years ago. Kids coming of age today have seen many, many images of degrading sexuality, of irresponsible sexuality, of violent sexuality, long before they've had a chance to actually have, hopefully, a tender and safe erotic exploration with a real human being.
Naomi Wolf says that when it comes to teenagers and sex, adults are unwilling to face the truth.
Because we are so hypocritical about the intensity of adolescent sexual feelings, especially girls' sexual feelings, and how powerful the drive is from a very young age to be touched, to be close, to have orgasms, to be intimate, because we've decided not to look at that because of the moral chaos that we've created in the sexual revolution, we've left kids on their own.
They know all about the plumbing, they know all about the mechanics, they know all about the diseases, but it seems like they don't know about anything else.
They don't know about love. They don't know about maturity.
But I found a kind of sadness out there among these young people who are having sexual intercourse. Why are they so sad?
If you can have the keys to the adult kingdom of sexuality at 14 or 15, what is there left to look forward to? If sex has been emptied by Hollywood and by video games and by rap music of its magic and of its excitement and of its connection to love and awakening emotion, then you're left with pleasure on the most simple, debased level. One thing I loved hearing, a mom said that she was overhearing her 3-year-old daughter talk to a little boy who was trying to get the little girl to play doctor, and the little girl said, "No, I won't show you my treasure." And the mom was like, "Yes, I want her always to believe that this is her treasure." Now that is exactly the message that no one is giving girls today, or boys, that their sexuality is a treasure.
Coming up, a story of young love. So you got it for her pretty bad.
Yes.
Okay.
When we return. His name is Nathan Henke. And he's a musician. He's also a scholar, a straight A student. And he's an athlete.
27 meters!
Won a letter in track last year as a freshman.
We keep offering to send Nathan.
He comes from a prominent Tillamook family. Dad's a judge. Mom's a social worker. And he's popular, has lots of pals. But the one thing about Nathan that stands out above everything else is this. He's 15 years old and crazy in love.
So you got it for her pretty bad.
Yes.
Are you in love?
I sure think I am.
Feels like something.
Yeah, something. This is different than any other relationship I've ever been in, you know? Megan's one of the greatest things in my life, is the greatest thing in my life right now.
And this is Megan. She's 16.
How would you describe your relationship with him?
Good.
You have a lot in common?
Yeah. Like the same bands and like the same food and the same toothpaste and stuff like that.
Even toothpaste. He's younger than you are.
But he's taller.
Do you think you're in love with him?
Maybe. Just like define love, you know? Love him as a person and as a personality. And he's really cute too.
It's still amazing to me to think Megan wasn't in my life until a month and a half ago.
Sometimes I wonder if he isn't just completely crazy about you.
Really?
Yeah.
It's very flattering.
You didn't know that?
I don't know if I don't know. Probably. It's like, love is blinding, you know? You don't pick up on these things. Don't yawn. Makes me yawn. Pop sounds good right now. Like caffeinated. Oh.
Nathan and Megan. If you're looking for kids who personify the ideal and responsible teenage sexuality, here they are.
I'm not going to go out and have sex to have sex, that's for sure, like a lot of people in my school do. You know, just to get a notch in your belt.
Oh, that feels so good.
There are no notches in Nathan's belt. Not yet, anyway.
Well, actually, you know, I haven't lost my virginity yet.
Do you know where the youth group is tonight?
I assume it's the church.
It is? Okay.
He is a destroyer of stereotypes, an all-American teenage boy determined to wait for sex, to wait until the time is right. And he says he didn't get that from listening to his parents.
Anywhere.
Okay.
I personally don't want to hear my parents talking about sex. It's like, you know, I try to forget the fact that my parents, you know, had to have sex to have me. It just makes me nauseous.
You're not feeling a lot of pressure to be sexually active?
Yeah, there's a little, but it's like, I just don't let it affect me. I really don't.
Could you ever picture yourself in a situation where you and Nathan might be making love?
Well, yeah, but we'd be married and stuff, but that's my morals and stuff.
I didn't cook it all. Hot dog.
A weekend at the beach. Nathan and Megan at a church-sponsored retreat. But for them, weekends like this are rare. Time dominates their lives. Time not spent with each other.
Yeah, it drives me crazy because she lives so far away and I only get to see her on weekends.
Nathan lives in Tillamook. Megan almost 2 hours away, near Portland. Or the other side of the moon.
We write each other through email and we talk on the phone a lot more than we should.
Do you ache to see her?
Yeah. I'm counting the days. It's like I count down to the days I do get to see her and I can't wait. Can't wait till I can drive.
Somebody want to have a half a biscuit?
But there is for Nathan yet another frustrating complication in his blossoming romance with Megan. His parents.
We saw them as dating, but
maybe not being quite as interested in everything revolving around one girl.
They're like, you know, you're only 15. You need to be focusing on other things in your life, not girls. You're only 15. Wait till you get older.
I think I've been fairly direct about the fact that, you know, we know people in the Tillamook area, and this is someone outside the community, and I know that sounds as though we're being exclusive, but it's just that whenever there's unknowns, you worry a little bit more.
I don't think she has anything to worry about.
What would you tell her?
She has nothing to worry about.
You're not going to steal her son?
No, she can have him back when I'm done.
If we came back for your senior year as you're graduating from Tillamook High School, do you think you'll still be involved with Megan?
Yeah, I have all intention of it. Right now, I can't imagine us not being together.
A final word in a moment. High. Carol, Sarah, Alexis, and Nathan have all returned as sophomores in the class of 2000. Jessica is starting her second year at the alternative school. John has moved from Tillamook to live with his dad in another part of the state. And Brandy has taken Gary and left to try her luck in Arizona. As adults, we often look back at our own teen years and yearn for those days of wonder and freedom. But who would envy today's adolescents? As we've just seen, the sexual coming of age of the class of 2000 is more frustrating and painful than ever before. For the next 3 years, CBS News will continue to chronicle the lives of these students and others as they head toward the millennium and graduation. For the class of 2000, I'm Harry Smith. Good night.
For a transcript of tonight's broadcast, send $7 to Burrell's Transcripts, Box 7, Livingston, New Jersey, 07030.